didn't get to really interact with you guys too much because I was doing my affirmations of your identity in Christ. Today, ask a therapist. Any questions you have about therapy, any disorders, treatments, um, my experiences being a therapist, any questions that you have, feel free to ask. I don't have much time today before I kind of snowball into some more sessions. I have about four more cases and then I'm done for today. So, yeah, feel free to ask, man, if you guys have any questions or any curiosities. Today is going really smooth per usual. Really blessed day. Thankful to be here. Have my health. As you get older, approaching 40, you get, a little bit more thankful about, you know, the little things, in your life. Went to the gym today, had a really great workout. Tomorrow is my Friday. So I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. When you're a full time dad, you're constantly working, you know. Um, but yeah, I've been doing therapy work since 2009 when I was in the military as a site tech, transitioning from the Marine Corps. Met with a lot of people, and that's sort of like my early origins of doing psychology work. Initially, I didn't really wasn't really thrilled about my degree in psychology. I was once thinking about considering going into tech, and then I ended up sticking with psychology just because psychology is so interesting. But I'll wait for people to start coming in. I'm just getting everything set up. I was really big on history. I love history. That's why a lot of my videos have like a historical theme to it. I love studying history. It really kind of gave me. It's good to do a good history refresh. Hey, welcome to the meeting. Ask me anything about psychology, anything about therapy, my experiences as a therapist, anything that comes up for you. But yeah, history was really like a big interest for me. Studying history really opened up my eyes. Studying that European history. Yeah, any questions you want to ask a therapist, man? Any questions about depression, anxiety, trauma, bipolar? I mean, you name it, split personalities. I've had cases with people who had DID, any sort of questions that you have for a therapist. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with therapy. Dawn, if you have any questions about mental health, I want to say it's Mental Health Day on October the 10th. So feel free to ask any questions that you have. Dawn, did you have any questions? Hey, what's up, Chevy Garza? Did you guys have any questions about therapy or mental health therapy? Or you guys have you ever been in therapy or have family members in therapy? Chevy and Dawn? Yeah, I for a long time I was really against even doing counseling myself because nice. How was your counseling experiences? Hey, what's up, Maya? Any therapy questions or counseling questions or anything about depression, anxiety, feel free to ask. This is for you guys. I know a lot of times I'm reading from a script and I know, I really want to interact with you guys and see if you have any thoughts about therapy, just in general. I'm not going to be on here long because I have a lot of cases. How you doing, Maya? Any questions about depression, anxiety? I have a case coming up, an anxiety case of a client who had panic attack from coffee. You have a lot of anxiety. I can relate to that. Any tools that have worked for you specifically for the anxiety? They say deep breathing is one of the pillars for anxiety reduction only because of its connection to the vagus nerve and the rest response in the nervous system. There's two different types of anxiety. There's like your somatic physiological anxiety that's generated in the body from the amygdala, and then there's the thought-based sort of like cerebral form of anxiety where you just like overthink. Some people can have like either or they can have both. So I was playing this game in my class today, and it was like where we hit a ball and no school, and these kids keep laughing at me, and I got so mad. Said, but my mom always comforts me. Oh, that's good. Sorry to hear that, Maya Marie. That's really good. What kind of anxiety do you have? Is it like thought based anxiety where you're thinking a lot? Like, what if this? What if this happens? What if that happens? Or is it like in your body? Or is it both? What would you say? They say for your thought based anxiety, you want to approach it with interventions that are centered around thought management. You take medication for anxiety. Yeah, it's good. I take medication for anxiety. I have as needed meds for anxiety as well. If you have thought based anxiety where your mind is racing, if you think about a lot, they say that, you want to learn how to change your relationship with your thoughts, telling yourself that just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's a thought worth having. you know Thoughts are just stories that you tell yourself that are based off of your history. So when you're thinking a lot, you're basically just time traveling. You're replaying a lot of old memories in your mind and the stories you develop from those old memories, and you're predicting that it'll happen again. Hey, what's up, Alma? That's all anxiety is in the mind. It's just replaying the history of your past over and over again and the stories that come with that. The mind is just the past, and the past, because we're not fortune tellers. So when you overthink, you're basically just over identifying with the memories in your head, you know. And some of the interventions are, getting in the present moment. You really have to value being in the here and now. Said I get mad easy. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, to get out of the anxiety in the mind, you have to anchor yourself. First, you have to even value the present moment. You have to tell yourself, even though this moment is boring as hell, I'm in school, I'm young, I don't really have much going on. I mean, might be doing a mundane job, but there's still value in the moment. You have to find things that are interesting in your environment. A lot of times when you're in a boring situation, you're more than likely going to time travel and be in your head a lot. So you got to find things in your environment that that interest you. You know, you have to connect to something in your environment. Just and I rolled my eyes at one of the girls and the teacher and told her to stop looking at me. Sometimes you get mad. Yeah, I get that. That's natural. Sometimes we get angry, we get upset. A lot of times what drives anger, what I teach my clients, is that you've made conclusions about a situation or a person without looking at the evidence against those conclusions. Anger is automatically going to come when you already feel like you sum the person up, like, oh, this is the reason why you're doing this and it pisses me off. If you're not challenging that assumption, if you're not looking at different interpretations, you're going to get angry. Angry is a like the sister to conclusions, right? You kind of like you feel like you have it all figured out about the situation, but there's so much more that you could be missing. So what I would say with anger, cognitively ask yourself, what am I missing in this situation? What am I minimizing because I'm so focused on what's pissing me off? You have to look at alternative explanations you know. So it makes me want to cry. And the girl I roll my eyes at, we used to be best friends. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you guys work that out. That's sort of like how it is in life. You go through situations with your friends, Maya, and it teaches you the importance of having a value system and things that are important to you and aligning your friendships with people who share similar interests. Yeah, and sometimes you got to cut friends off. I get that. I get that. And that's okay. Maybe you guys got to give each other some space, give yourself some distance. It's okay. That's not uncommon. You know, Yeah, when you're young, you're gonna learn a lot about friendships, and you're gonna go through a lot of different friends. Says you're nice like my other counselor. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Chevy. Yeah, I've been doing counseling for a really long time. I've been doing counseling since 2009. Um, so almost 16 years. I've been doing counseling for a really long time. I've seen a lot of different cases, a lot of severe trauma. I've worked with cases of people trying to harm themselves, people self harming. Okay. Um, Severe anxiety, debilitating depression. They didn't want to leave the house. Did a lot of work in the field of psychology. Many different cultures, many different races and ethnicities. That's why I'm so passionate about talking about racism and discrimination, because as a counselor, you see so many different races and different cultures and different belief systems, and all of us have stress, all of us have depression, all of us have anxiety. Nobody's so unique and unicorn from each other. My second hour teacher, I hate her. Maya Marie, you're having a really rough school year, huh? It's really tough. You need some self care, Maya. You might have to go take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Get out in nature. Cool off a little bit. Try to control some of those emotions and take care of yourself. Those feelings that you have, those hot feelings, are telling you need to take care of you a little bit. Go give yourself some kindness. That's how school is. You're going to run across assholes, teachers you don't like, friends that are not truly your friends. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you're having a challenging school year. Hope it gets better for you. Trust me, once you graduate high school and you get out here in the real world, it gets a little bit easier, but you still have to deal with difficult people. It doesn't just stop at high school. High school is the training ground to teach you how to deal with the real world, the reality that you're going to have people you don't like, you're going to have friends that you don't trust and that you bump heads with. High school, you're going to basically be in an adult version of high school once you graduate. Trust me. I have a teacher and makes me almost cry. Geez, school was like rough for you guys, huh? I'm not gonna lie, I was so happy when I graduated high school. Sometimes I had nightmares that I didn't graduate high school. That's how I was so happy. I had to go to four different high schools, and it is rough in America because these kids, these younger people, got so much personality. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was having dreams that I didn't graduate high school. I was like, oh my god, I'm still in school. I was like, no, Randy, you graduated. I went to so many damn high schools. I was like panicking, like in my dreams, like, Randy, you didn't graduate. You missed the class. I was like, no. So strange. Like, so I understand. Like, high school is a very, once you get to like junior year, sophomore year, junior year. Hey, what's up, Uncle Brother? What's going on, man? Any sort of questions about therapy, Uncle Brother? Any sort of like curiosities? I'm doing like a ask a therapist. I'm trying to engage more with the nice. How's life been treating you, man? I'm trying to engage more with the audience. I feel like when I come on YouTube, I'm always lecturing. I never give an opportunity just to kind of connect with people. How's life been treating you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. She said she wants to meet a celebrity. What celebrity you want to meet? Who you want to meet? I met this guy that was famous on YouTube. Yeah, it's been a while, bro. How you been, man? I'm out here back in Cali. I was in Hawaii for a little bit, but I can't transition back to California with the family. I met this guy who's kind of famous on YouTube at a grocery store parking lot. NBA young boy. Nice. I've been good, man. Just working. I got a few more cases, clients coming in at 3, so I'm gonna be booked until like 7 tonight. I met this famous YouTuber in this parking lot at a grocery store. My wife was with me, and I was like freaking out. And my wife was like, "Why are you acting so crazy and asking so many questions and acting like that for this famous person?" She's Chinese, right? So she's like, what is it? What's the big deal? She's like, "Randy, you're better than him. You don't have to act like that around around him. Why you acting like that?" I wasn't like acting wild, but I was kind of like, "Oh man, that's cool. You're the guy from this. Oh, you're the guy. Oh, you know." My wife was clowning me. She was so mad at me. She was like, "What the hell are you acting like that? You're better than him. You're a veteran. You're a Marine. Why are you acting like this to this guy?" I'm not gonna lie, guys. I lost some cool points. Got you, Chevy. Have a good day, man. It was the guy that does like the car reviews, Forest Auto Hills Reviews. He does like the car reviews. Have you have a great day too? Forest Hills Auto Reviews. It's like the guy on YouTube with the long curly hair, and he always like has all the new cars, and he's always doing the car reviews. I was at the we was charging her Mercedes, and he had this. I didn't even know who he was, but he had this really dope Chinese electric van. I was like, damn, what kind of fucking car is that? I'm from Detroit, so if I see any sort of unique, weird looking, fresh car, I'm like, hey, what kind of car is that? That's a dope car. And I'm like, oh my god, you're the guy that does. Because me and my wife were just watching his videos. I was like, hey man, you're the guy that do the car review videos. He was like, yeah. And I had like a little fan out moment. Man, my wife was mad as hell. She's like, what the hell are you acting like that? I've never seen you act like that, Randy. You're supposed to be cool. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh shit, man. But how's life been treating you, Uncle Brother? You said NBA young boy, huh? That's cool. I want to say he gave somebody like 10K or something like that recently. Gave a fan 10K. Shit, I need to run into NBA Youngboy. I want to meet NBA Youngboy too, man. Let me get that 10K, man. You know, I've been good, man. Just working, man. Trying to, take care of these kids, man. And I used to be the weekend dad and the monthly dad, and a couple times, a few times a year dad. So when you're like a full time dad, it's a different world, man. You got to really, yeah. I'm a therapist. It's a different world, man, when you're a full-time dad compared to being a weekend dad. It's a lot of work. So I respect to the parents, man, who even if you're not full-time, you're a weekend dad or weekend mom or weekly mom, still salute to you, man. But yeah, it's a real thing when you're like there full-time. So just trying to, you know, um, not get burnt out, when you're like the weekend dad and the monthly dad, you kind of get like a little selfish. Yours are weekends mostly, yeah. Because when you don't have your kids, you just got your time, right? You're like doing your thing. So I think my brain has been like conditioned to be like the weekend monthly dad, but I'm in a full time dad reality. So I'd be tired as hell, man. My daughter, I'm like, I get off of work, gotta go straight deal with her. Oh, I feel you, Maya. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. Rest in peace to the brother, King Von. Yeah. So just trying to keep it together, man. Being a full time parent, support the mom. Um, it's an adjustment, man. It's different. Yeah, the kids have you running, man. They do. Yeah, they do. But yeah, man, I've been doing counseling for a really long time. I used to always have like suits and always be dressed up and everything. And my one of my white mentors, she was like, "Just be yourself, Randy. You don't always have to dress up. You don't always have to. White people be coming in, man. They got their regular jeans on and they chill. I'm in there suited up like the Men in Black. You're like, Randy, just be yourself. You don't want to." I was doing counseling at like a nonprofit for people who were like displaced from their homes. And she's like, Randy, you don't want to show up looking like the police. You got to be just kind of relax a little bit. I was like, no, I got to dress up. I got to dress up. I got to look professional. I'm black. If I go in there with jeans on and shit, they're not going to take me seriously. And I was all in my head, man. So you're going to have 2 kids? Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, how are you doing? Elia, do you have any questions? Ask a therapist. Ask away. I was thinking you guys are gonna flood me with questions. You guys apparently don't give a damn about therapy. I'm like, shit, man. I got a therapist. I ain't gonna ask you, nigga. I got a counselor. So it's all good. Hey, I ain't tripping. Says we are conditioned to be operated in excellence. Yeah, man. I was showing up, dressing up every day, even if it was blazing hot outside in California. I got my tie on. I think I had a tie and this dress pants on like every day. And then eventually I just learned like, man, that's important to be presentable and to be professional. Don't get me wrong. But, when you do this 10 plus years, it's really, more about, your knowledge and your excellency in the delivery of skills and knowing what you know and being able to translate that knowledge to people who really need your help. Nice, nice. You had therapy today. Nice. Thoughts on George Floyd? Great question, Josh. Um, I need to do some more research on George Floyd because some people say that, he had a history and, it's hard for them to really glamorize the brother. And, um, he was caught up in so many different things. But then, the other argument is, how he was killed, in public like that, you can't really justify that, so it's just like me personally, my thoughts on it, you know, it's just sad he had to go out the way that he did, regardless of whatever his history is, so like when you living in America, you almost don't even want to have a history telling you, like, you almost don't. That's why I really don't want to get famous, because people are going to dig up my past. And I mean, I didn't do anything crazy. I wasn't no abuser or nothing like that. But the most they could probably say is like, oh, he had all these different girls, something like that. But it was like of age. But I mean, that's the most dirt they could probably dig up on me. But nothing outside of that, you know. Still, even with that, it's like when you're trying to transition out of your past and become a better person, you don't want to be reminded of that shit. America does not let you divorce from your past. So you better be fucking careful how you live your life in America, because you do anything bad or wrong and you get famous, they gonna remember that shit. Yeah, we all got a past. Yeah, you right. But it was just wrong how he died, man. And if he had kids, I think he did have kids, and for your kids to be exposed to that is traumatic. And I think to minimize the trauma that his children were exposed to and how he died, his family members, all because he had a past, is not fair to him. It's not fair to his family. You know, and that caused like a worldwide protest. Like a lot of people kind of tapped into that. You know, um, that narrative. I got something in my eye. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it, man. I used to be with the Marines, where we were doing police work in Iraq and marching around, and we were the superheroes in the neighborhood. And I used to feel guilty every day, man, walking around with machine guns, and you're busting into people's homes, and they're basically sleeping on the floor, and they don't have a lot. Kids are looking up at you at 3 in the morning. You're in there with a gun. And I used to pray, like, Lord, forgive me, man. Like, you know, in the name of democracy and your love for the military, man, you just get exposed to so many things that just fucks you up. And you're like, damn, like, how would I feel if I'm already in poverty? And it's like almost like in these third world countries, man, they don't even really see it as poverty. It's just their life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn. So I do believe some of the police force, people in the police force, do feel guilty sometime when they may over police, or they might do things wrong. And they're human beings too. So I'm not gonna say I hate the police or nothing like that. My uncle was a retired police officer, so I understand, shit, you're just trying to get home to your kids. So the Black Lives Matter movement was a joke. I feel like it started off as a great idea, you know, um, because it kind of did feel like for a while, like Black life was just disposable, like shit, you saw so many police killings of Black people. But then it's like, who are we talking to when we say Black Lives Matter? Are we talking to other races? We talking to white people? We talking to Asians, Indians? We need to be talking to Black people too, man. I'm from Detroit, man, and niggas held me up at gunpoint after my first deployment. It wasn't white people, it wasn't Asians, it wasn't Indians, it wasn't Mexican. It was like my own niggas. I'm like, what the fuck is this? you know. So it's like, for other people to be convinced that Black Lives Matter, we have to convince ourselves as Black people that Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? I think it started off as an excellent idea, just an excellent theory. You know what I'm saying? Like Black Lives Matter was an excellent theory for Black people. Um, but then it's like, when you look at how Black people treat Black people, man, and even till this fucking day, man, like, I'm on here fucking fighting and speaking against the powers that be every damn day. And I don't got a whole lot of Black people, I should be fucking famous by now. As much as I done jeopardized my channel to power up black people, niggas should be collecting around me. Like, hey, let's put this motherfucker on. He's a truth teller. He don't give a fuck. He's fighting for us, man. I ain't where they at. Shit, black people, they're dope as a motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. I love black people, but we don't support each other as much as we support other cultures and other people who don't look like us. And it's like for us to even support each other, it's so much red tape and shit you gotta hop and loop through, you know. But I'm not gonna use that as a platform or an excuse to beat up on black people because I know we're up against a lot, but it's like shit, you know. I only have so much credibility with black people because I'm married to a Chinese woman. So they're gonna look at me like, dude, you're not gonna be the fucking face of any movement or black fucking justice because you're married to a Chinese woman. You don't understand how it is to have a black family, Randy, to have a black wife, deal with a black woman every day. Well, shit, I got a black mother, I got a black grandmother, I got black sisters, you know. But you're right, it is different when you're married, you know, to a black woman. But shit, man, you know, it's some black people want you to. There's so much red tape and so much expectations and standards you have to meet to even be qualified as a black voice that's credible. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, what can you do, man? You know, what can you do? And then you jeopardize your career, you jeopardize your platform, you put demonetization on the table, you do all this to speak to black issues, only for niggas to kind of treat you like, well, that's on him. You know, so you said, man, my therapist was discussing this today. True, we don't. Yeah, man, it's like I need to be using this platform and this black body to be making black people more loving towards each other. Shit. You know, I think I'm kind of getting past. I was talking to one of my clients today about this. Like, what I'm trying to do with this platform is try to figure out what's next for the black psychology. We've already recognized our victimhood. We already recognized this shit happened to us. What's next after this? You know, how can we extract some sort of wisdom from the injustices and the traumas that were done against us? How can we extract something from this shit to build a path forward is what I'm trying to do with this platform. Like, what is next for black people? We can't just bitch and complain and just be enraged every damn day for the next 400 years. We have so many opportunities that our ancestors fucking died for. You know, we shit. If Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was here, man, they'd be like, man, it's like you guys are wasting fucking time. You know, we fought that shit. You know, just go out there and go work together, go build. You know, you can't keep licking the fucking wound. You know, so it's like I'm trying to figure out what's next for the black conscience. Like, there's so many resources out there, so many opportunities out there, but if as disjointed as we are, that shit doesn't mean anything. You know, it's not gonna. The next stage, I believe, for black development is a sense of unification with implementation of the resources that are at hand. Good luck trying to unite us. Shit, you know. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. If black people can come together like I Show Speak and bring all these different races together, man, we would be fucking unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? We would be unstoppable. But it's like I don't know, man. I'm not God. I'm not all knowing. You know, but I think that's going to be the future of my platform. Is like, how can I bring these niggas together? You know, it's like, how can I bring niggas together, man? You know, I'm from Detroit, so that kind of gives me a little bit of leverage because, like, all right, he's from the shit, so we know Detroit, we know the history, so he's a little bit in there. But damn, he's married to a Chinese woman, though, so he's like a little bit in there, but he's not fully in there. So the little bit that I have, I'm gonna try to use as much as I can. But this is a different black person, man. This is a different type of black person. So, but I love you guys. I love you, black people. I love you guys. I know you guys are watching. So it's just, you know, I don't know what to do, man. You know. Yeah, man, the Motown. Yeah, man. My grandfather was a trumpet player for Stevie Wonder. He's in the Motown Museum. Ain't that something? My grandma got pictures of him with Stevie Wonder, man. You know, if we can get black people to love each other and to love themselves, oh my God, like the sky is the limit. And that'll help other cultures. Is it going to change them? Probably not. But if they can see us loving on each other, not killing each other, working together, building up those communities. And it ain't even about other cultures. It's really about us. It would make such a big difference to our moms, to our children, you know. Shit. I don't know, man. I could be on here talking about that shit all day. But oh, you're mixed. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, man, I'm mixed with all kind of stuff. I did the 23andMe before they went bankrupt. I don't know how legit the 23 information is. I'm like 15% white. That shit blew my fucking mind. You would think I would get that right. I'm fucking light skinned, but I was like, damn, 15% white? Grandma, you ain't my grandma looked like a white lady. I was like, damn, you ain't who what man, I got all these white cousins all over the world. I was like, damn. Like all kind of I'm like genetics all across Europe and shit. Shit blew my mind. But you know, back in the slave days, you know, a lot of those masters and people were sleeping around with the black folks. All right. You have a good day too, Uncle Brother. Like, damn, I'm 15% white. I'm almost damn near a quarter white. I think embracing stereotyping can be beneficial too, to an extent. Some of it's rooted from truth. Yeah, man, it is, man. It is. Well said, bro. It is. I accepted it. I do not like watermelon. You can't fucking pay me to like watermelon. I just hate the taste of it. I tried to eat it when I was younger. The fucking auntie just throwing watermelon at us as kids, and it would look good when I was a kid. I'm like, damn, that watermelon's so good. It's fucking hot. You're sweating. The auntie bring up this big ass piece of watermelon, and everybody's like tearing that shit up. I try to eat it. It makes me want to vomit. I just hate the taste of it. I can't even watermelon candy, watermelon anything, fucking juice. I just, you know. But the stereotype is black people love fucking watermelon and it's healthy. I wish I did love the shit because I'll be a lot more healthier, that's for sure. My Chinese wife loved watermelon. I'd drink the shit up, you know. I just cannot stand watermelon. I cannot. I just do not like it. I don't like the taste of it. But I embrace it. You know, that's a stereotype. I don't give a shit. I don't even like watermelon. You know, fried chicken, I'll eat that shit up. So I'll wear that. You know, I have one mixed cousin, and my other cousins are Mexican and white. Nice. Yeah, my daughter, she's Mexican and black. Yeah, I embrace the stereotypes, man. I may not agree with them, but it is what it is, you know. You know, it is what it is. People are gonna think what they want to think. I can't control what people think or how they see it, and some of them are true. You're right about that. Some of them are true, and that's another conversation. The whole mixed discussion, right? Who's mixed with black? Who's mixed with this? And that's another thing that kind of gets in the way, you know, of us coming together. Is, you know, oh, you're not fully black. Oh, you're mixed with fucking Indian, or you're mixed with Chinese. You're mixed. You're not fully. It's just like it's a lot of shit, man. You know, it's a lot. So, man, just pray for our community, man. You know, it's a lot of work. So, yeah, that's it, man. I gotta get to this therapy session. I have about 3 more cases, and then gotta take care of the kids, man. I probably won't have time to come back on here today because I got parental duties. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Ask a therapist. I thought you guys were gonna come on here with all kind of questions. I guess you guys are like, I got my own therapist for that, Randy. I don't need you to. I don't need you for that. So I'm still gonna do these though. Ask a therapist, just in case you guys wanna. If you have any curiosities, I know a lot of you guys are probably at work. You know, if you have any curiosities or questions or anything like that, you know, you could bring it to the space. You know, you ain't gotta put all your business out there. But all right, I guess I'll check out of here. I thought you guys were gonna. Thank you for joining, Maya. Appreciate it, and Josh. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a blessed day. All right, I'll see you guys